Okay, so imagine this. You're in a small sleepy town in Pennsylvania. It is quiet, peaceful, a little too peaceful, and then out of nowhere, boom! 17 kids from the same first grade class vanish at exactly 2:17 in the morning. No signs of a break-in, no kidnappers, nothing. They just left, like they were sleepwalking straight into the void. That's basically the setup for Weapons. This big new horror mystery film, directed by Zach Cregger, the guy who made Barbarian, a movie that actually understood how to make crazy horror with unpredictable fun. So naturally, expectations were high. But let me tell you right now, this ain't Barbarian 2.0. This is more like Barbarian meets Ambien. Our main character is a school teacher named Justine Gandy, played by Julia Garner. She wakes up to find that every single one of her students is gone. Poof. Then we meet a dad, Arthur Graff, Josh Brolin, whose son was one of the missing. He's basically grief and anger wrapped in a flannel shirt. There's also a cop named Paul, played by Alden Henrik, who seems to have some kind of mysterious connection to Justine, and one surviving kid, Alex Lilly. This kid is the only one left, and surprise or surprise, he's creepy as hell. Sounds like a solid mystery, right? You'd think. We are building up to something awesome, something epic. But nah, the story just fizzles. It promises fireworks and gives us a sparkler in the rain. The first half of the movie sets the mood well. There's that classic small town dread. The trailers teased us with long quiet shots, missing posters, kids walking into the night, and creepy vibes. There is one scene where Justin walks into a classroom and every desk is empty, backpacks still there, crayons on the floor. That is legit creepy. And the audio? Whispering voices, static radio, one line that says, "They just left." Like what? That line alone made people say, "Yo, I gotta see this." But then the movie hits the halfway mark and it suddenly forgets what it was doing. Out of nowhere, it starts juggling too many ideas. There is a cult. There is maybe a witch. There is a ghostly female clown in the woods. Maybe it's all symbolic. Maybe it's real. Who knows? Certainly not the movie. It's like the film itself is confused, flipping through horror subgenres, trying to figure out what it wants to be. You can almost hear it whispering, "Am I deep yet?" And the pacing? Painfully slow. There are scenes where people just stare into the distance for minutes, just brooding, crying, thinking, and you're like, okay, and then what? But nothing. It just keeps going. If I wanted to watch people sit and think for 2 hours, I just open a Zoom call with my coworkers. Now let's talk about the cast. Julia Garner does her best. She brings that same tension she had in Ozark. Josh Brolin plays the tortured dad role well, but we've seen this version of him before. Honestly, if you swapped him with Thanos, we might have had a more interesting villain. Alden Ehrenreich is trying hard, but his character is so half-baked that you're not even sure why he's in the story by the end. The one standout is the cinematography. The shots are gorgeous. They really are. There is this haunting glow to every single scene. The foggy woods, the flickering lights in the school hallway, the way the camera lingers just long enough to make you feel uncomfortable. If you pause the movie at any random moment, you'd probably have a new desktop wallpaper. But a movie can't live on aesthetics alone. Let's get into the so-called twist. So, there's this legend or curse or entity or again, the movie refuses to be clear. That's stealing kids to stay young. Classic witch tale. But instead of doing something fresh with it, they just layer it with 20 minutes of vague dialogue and dream sequences. A Redditor who saw an early draft said the ending boiled down to just a effing witch, and that kind of sums it up. What makes it worse is that the film acts like it is reinventing the horror genre like it's doing something so new and mind-blowing. But it's not. It's just hiding an old horror cliché under a bunch of moody shots and whispery dialogue. It's like putting a spooky Instagram filter on a Scooby-Doo plot and then calling it a masterpiece. Now let's talk about marketing, because oh man, the marketing was elite. That teaser trailer? Fire. Kids walking into darkness? Chills. The in-universe website, maybrookmissing.com? Genius. Fake news reports, conspiracy forums, even references to characters from Barbarian. It made you feel like something big was coming, like this was going to be a cinematic event, and then it wasn't. At CinemaCon, Warner Bros. Showed an extended clip that supposedly had people screaming. Early reports said the test screenings were so good, they moved the release date up. Even the studio heads were like, this is gonna be the next Get Out. But fans online are starting to turn, especially after leaks came out. Some people on Twitter said they felt scammed by the trailer. Others are defending it, saying people just don't get it. You know that crowd. The "it's not bad, you just didn't understand it" crew. But when enough people say the same thing, that the movie starts great and then ends in a whimper, it is hard to ignore. Now let's talk money. This movie cost $38 million to make. For horror, that is huge. Most horror flicks are made for like $10 million or less, and Warner Bros. Is banking on this being a hit. They booked IMAX showings. They're pushing the viral marketing hard. But if the bad word of mouth spreads, that box office is gonna sink faster than the Titanic. Early projections are split down the middle. Some say it might open to 25 million and slowly crawl past 80 million. Others are calling it a flop already, because horror fans are loyal but also brutal. They don't forget when a movie wastes their time. In the end, Weapons feels like a missed opportunity. It had everything going for it. Cast, budget, director with a proven hit, amazing marketing, but it tried too hard to be everything at once. Horror, mystery, drama, art film, and it ended up being a big, beautiful, boring mess. So, if you're going into this hoping for scares, twists, and wild horror energy, be prepared. This weapon might not kill you, but it will bore you to death. So what could have saved it? Maybe just picking a lane, go full wits horror, or go surreal like The Killing of a Sacred Deer, or go big mainstream like A Quiet Place. But don't try to do all three at once with a plot that feels like it was written during a very long nap. At least give us a villain worth remembering, not just a vague shadow creature with no backstory. Also, where's the creativity? There's no shocking moment like the Airbnb twist in Barbarian, no unforgettable scare like the attic scene in The Hereditary. There's a lot of quiet walking, emotional stares, and some fog. A lot of fog. It's like fog had its own budget in this film. And hey, if the whole idea was to make a slow burn mystery that leaves us asking questions, maybe don't answer them all with "it's a witch, lol." That's like baking a beautiful cake and then putting ketchup on top. So yes, Weapons 2025? It's not dangerous, it's not sharp, it's not even shocking. It's just scarily boring. And in a year where horror's on fire, that's basically a deadly sin. Peace out.